All right, let's dive into the icy ends of our planet. Because the Arctic and the Antarctic may both be polar, but they're anything but twins. First up, location. The Arctic is at the top of the world, surrounding the North Pole. It's basically an ocean, the Arctic Ocean, covered by floating sea ice and surrounded by land. Meanwhile, the Antarctic sits down south, wrapping around the South Pole. Unlike the Arctic, it's a massive continent covered by a thick layer of ice, surrounded by ocean. Here's a fun fact. If you stood at the North Pole, you'd be standing on ice floating above the ocean. At the South Pole, you'd be on solid ground. Well, solid ice, sitting on a landmass. Now, let's talk temperature. Both are freezing, but the Antarctic is colder, like way colder. In winter, temperatures in Antarctica can drop below minus 60 degrees Celsius. That's minus 76 Fahrenheit. The Arctic, while still super cold, tends to be a little warmer because the ocean underneath, the ice, acts like a giant heat blanket. What about life? The Arctic is teeming with it. Think polar bears, Arctic foxes, walruses, and tons of birds. People even live up there. Indigenous communities have called the Arctic home for thousands of years. The Antarctic? There are no polar bears. In fact, no humans live there permanently. The stars of the south are penguins, seals, and gigantic whales. The only people you'll find are scientists on research stations. Let's not forget about the sun. Both poles have crazy seasons, 6 months of daylight and 6 months of darkness. Imagine not seeing the sun rise for half a year. And here's a twist. The North Pole is in international waters. No country owns it. But the South Pole sits smack dab in Antarctica, a continent protected by the Antarctic Treaty. That means no one owns it, and it's set aside for science and peace. Last cool fact. The Arctic is shrinking. Climate change is melting its sea ice fast. Antarctica's ice is also changing, but not as quickly. Scientists are watching both places closely because what happens at the poles affects the whole planet. So, next time you picture the ends of the Earth, remember, the Arctic and Antarctic might look similar, but their differences are as vast as the frozen landscapes themselves. Stay curious.